I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network, where tonight it will be the stars and cars of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup Series coming to you live from the Milwaukee Mile, West Dallas, Wisconsin. Scott Pruitt holds the track record here at a 21.519 second lap. That was set back in the IndyCar days, though. Actually, in a 97 chassis during the 1998 season. Those cars were absolutely ripping around that place. But tonight, the Silver Crowns are going to be putting on just as good of a show, I think, here. My name is Chris Graham, and, well, I've got nobody joining me in the booth this week. Bizzle's off tonight. James Watson, my other normal color commentator, will be driving here tonight in a strength of field of 4187. This is a monster field we're going to have here tonight, and quite frankly, really looking forward to getting this show kicked off here as we'll pick up Tracy Petter making his way out onto the speedway. 1 week ago, Tracy, I believe one of the cars that was involved in a couple of the, well, we'll say huge incidents that we had out here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. I don't know that we're necessarily going to see something like that tonight, but the big one is that this race is a 100-lap feature. Long and short of that one, this is a really long race. Some of the drivers talking about possible concerns over how much tire wear you're going to have. It could be really, really interesting to see how these guys are going to roll through here this evening. Lap number one on the board for Tracy Petter, going to be seventh quick at a 28.126. Derek Love, quick time, 27.469. Nice lap for Derek Love. Brandon Buckberger, second quick. James Watson, Jeffrey Stanton, and Brian Elmore round out the top five as Tracy Petter now slots into position number 3, and Derek Love goes even faster, 27.369. Shaves a full 10th off that nice lap. Let's take a look. I think Brian Elmore is still out on the racetrack. Looks like his qualification run is just about coming to a conclusion. Thomas Lewandowski, new quick time, top of the board, 27.354, 27.35 with a 4 for pilot number 3. Lewandowski making, well, quite frankly, a pretty loud return this week. Entering tonight's race, Lewandowski sitting third in the point standings on 498 markers. 540 to Derek Love in second, and 584 to Brandon Buckberger at the top of the charts. Cody Dutton in the 7, just getting that machine up to speed here. Well, kind of limping it around, it looks like, possibly here. Get a little bit closer look at it, and well, it looks like his run will be over here. In fact, the run for everybody is going to be over. Qualification's already done. Done and dusted in quick succession here, and it is time to get ready to go racing for 100 laps around the Milwaukee Mile. You'll see the field start getting ready to pop in here, and we'll walk you through tonight's starting lineup. On the pole will be the Team Watson Racing Setups Martin Sports number 3 of Thomas Lewandowski. Lining up alongside of him will be the Street Side Classics number 2 of Derek Love. Row number 2 will have the unsponsored number 4 of Brandon Buckberger, lining up alongside of the RaceEPI.com number 1 of Tracy Petter. Row 3 tonight will see the Big Evil Designs Napa Auto Parts Rockwell, North Carolina number 5 machine of Jeffrey Stanton, lining up alongside of the number 8 of Brian Elmore. Row 4 will have the Team Watson Racing Setups National Racing Network number 6 of James Watson. The car will be the 39 on the racetrack, but you'll see the 6 up there in timing and scoring, alongside of the number 10 of Andrew Hayes. Row number 5, Jason Steinhurst in the 13, and Cody Dutton in car number 7. Back on row number 6 will be the number 12 of Laura Gerhard in that red Kibu machine, alongside of the Me-Fine T. Watson Racing Setups number 11 of Zach Evans. All alone on the final row. Oh my goodness. This is a throwback scheme that doesn't know it's a throwback, I think. The Pennzoil Discount Tire Snap-on number 9 of Chad Peterson. Now, it's kind of Joey Logano-esque, you might say. That is incredibly reminiscent of the Pennzoil cars that the wild child Jack Haudenschild would run in the World of Outlaws so many years ago. That is a fantastic looking paint scheme. Already going to have the pace car getting ready to duck off, and you're going to see that will happen very late here at the Milwaukee Mile. Basically, we'll be on the front straightaway before the pace car even commits to pit lane. It is a very difficult pit lane to get on and off of here. You can see it, pace car still out by the wall. Has to make that crazy hard left-hand turn. Great flag goes in the air. We are underway here at Milwaukee. Great jump by Lewandowski. He's going to be the lead by a couple of car lengths at minimum as they get to turn number 1. Side-by-side battle, Brandon Buckberger and Derek Love. James Watson having a big look down the inside of Brian Elmore. Not able to make the move there. We'll hang here with the side-by-side fight between Buckberger and Love. Here comes Jeffrey Stanton. Oh, we're not going to go 3 wide into turn 1 on lap 2, are we? No, Stanton backs out of it, takes the smart move there. Love's got to try to get down to the inside of the racetrack. They'll start to run up there as the tires wear and you start to burn some of the fuel off. But early on in these races, you got to try to keep the car down on the inside lane. As Stanton may be able to clear off at turn number 4, see if Tracy Petter's going to be able to sneak in. Oh, the big squeeze. That's the Pruitt fade. Tracy Petter has to back out of it as Thomas Lewandowski goes new fastest lap. Watson going to hang back there in position number 6, right behind Petter. Call it 4 car lengths to the gap there. Love able to hold the yellow line through turns 3 and 4 that time. Lewandowski not really stretching the gap, but still sitting at about 0.6 of a second. Another 0.2 back to Jeffrey Stanton in third. Field starting to settle in ever so slightly here. Take a look here. We'll go on board with Jeffrey Stanton. Up that number 4 machine of Brandon Buckberger now tucked in behind. We'll see if Buckberger's going to be able to have a look here down to the inside, but nothing going there just yet. Interesting, though, to see how Stanton catching up on race leader Thomas Lewandowski. Stanton set the new fastest lap of the race at a 27.641 that last time. Still really early in this race, though. Lap number 7 of 100. What would amount to a full real-world Silver Crown race. They would run this as a 100-lapper here at the Milwaukee Mile. Trying to take a look. I think USAC may have run the Milwaukee Mile. Yeah, I got to go back to kind of the mid-1990s to see the Silver Crowns running here at Milwaukee, but they were all 100-lappers. As Jeffrey Stanton has gotten around Thomas Lewandowski for the race lead. Oh, man, Brandon Buchberger right there. He wants a piece of that action as well. Take a look here at the weather conditions for this race. Ambient temperature 75 degrees, racetrack surface temperature 88. Under partly cloudy skies. Going to be a nice afternoon for racing here at Milwaukee. Stanton able to open this gap up just a little bit. Now it's up to 0.5 of a second. James Watson flying as an island to himself in the 6th position. Pretty sizable gap of about 1.5 seconds to Tracy Penner in 5th. But then you got to go another full second to go back to this fight. Ryan Elmore, Cody Dutton, and Laura Gerhardt. That's 7th, 8th, and 9th on the speedway. Not a ton of battle going on right there. Kind of same thing a little bit further back in the pack. So, well, with only 13 cars in the show, there's only so much we're going to be able to show you. We'll head up back towards the front of the field. Oh, buddy, big wiggle out of the 3 of Lewandowski off at turn number 2. Here comes Buchberger looking inside into 3. One of the things about having the smaller field, we have 2 13-car splits tonight, 26 total on the entry list. You may not have as much lap traffic, and the other big part of this is you may not get any cautions in tonight's race. If this thing keeps running at the pace it's at, we're looking at about 40 minutes or so, and this race is going to be over. This is one of the longer races on the schedule for the Silver Crown cars this season. And it's the kind of middle, I guess you would say, of 4 straight 100-lappers. Starting things off at Southern National on week 2, North Wilkesboro on week 3, here at Milwaukee on week 4. Wrapping it up next week at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, Indianapolis. That will be week number 5, and already talking about getting to the halfway point of 2023 season 4. I would love to know where this calendar year went. Rest of the season, we're going to head off to Michigan International Speedway on week 6 for a 40-lap feature. And then one place that I have been looking forward to since they announced development of this racetrack, Kern County Raceway Park. We're going to have the crowds here. The TNT Shock Series will be going there. It is incredible on the sim platform. I cannot wait for it. We're going to round out the season with a visit to Phoenix, USA International, Kansas, the big Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and round out the season early, gosh, I guess late November, I guess it would be, with a run at Darlington Raceway. Get the comment in here from Ray. Came in just a couple of minutes ago. Thank you very much for coming to hang out with us here, Ray. We appreciate that. Giving T. Watson Racing some love. You too can get your comment on the air. As Thomas Lewandowski starting to fall back ever so slightly here. Derek Love creeping up under the tail tank of that machine. Taking a look out the back of D-Love. There's Tracy Petter in the one, but swing the camera around here to the front, and oh my goodness, we got a lot going on here too. Thomas Lewandowski starting to make up some ground on Brandon Buckberger. Man, D-Love really getting a strong run through the corner there. You can hear a lot of coast, a lot of brake kind of at the midpoint of the corner. Able to keep that car down on the inside. Lewandowski sliding a little bit wide on corner exit. Can't lose sight of the battle that's behind here, though, as well, as Tracy Petter will not go quietly into that good night. Derek Love getting the challenge from both directions. Rapidly approaching the quarter pole of this one as we will hit lap number 25 of 100 in just a couple of circuits. Jeffrey Stanton, the race leader, out to a 2.5 second advantage over Brandon Buckberger. It's another 4/10 back. Just barely got a view of Stanton there on the left-hand side of the screen. Everybody else from 5th place on back is multiple tenths separated. As Love going to have the look inside of Lewandowski towards turn number 1. I don't know that he's going to have him cleared by the exit of the corner. May have to pinch that line down ever so slightly, and he does. Lewandowski able to roll a little bit more speed off the corner. Oh, there's contact. Lewandowski slides wide. Love grabs the spot. And here comes Tracy Petter. He's not going to make the move inside, at least not yet. Love not able to clear. Petter kind of following Lewandowski through on the entry to the corner. Cuts down hard onto the yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack. Petter may be going after D. Love here as well in the 3. Not quite able to take advantage just yet. As we are through 1/4 of this race, 26 laps are now up on the scoreboard. In fact, lap number 27 going on the board for your race leader as we speak. 1.8 seconds between Stanton and Buckberger. Another 1.1 back to D-Love here in 3rd. Only other cars that are within tenths, let's pick up Cody Dutton and Brian Elmore. And you'll get a look here and see that they are not close. James Watson losing a little bit of ground back here to Dutton. That's the fight for the 6th position, but not much going on there. So we're going to stay with this battle here. Love, Petter, and Lewandowski. That is for the final podium position. Let's slide back here. Grab that battle between Watson and Dutton. Dutton had made up a bunch of ground, was only about a car length and a half back of Watson that last time off at turn number 4. Man, you could really see that 7 machine starting to wiggle though off the corner. May have to do this one the hard way. Talked earlier about the top 3 in the point standings. Jeffrey Stanton is currently 4th, Brent Elmore 5th. Tracy Petter holding on to the 6th position, followed by Vic Aldridge, Laura Gerhardt, Andrew Hayes, and Joe Gauthier completing the top 10. Little bit surprised that we're not seeing as big of a move from Tracy Petter here just yet. Was able to get around Lewandowski at the midpoint of the quarter, but we're only 31 laps into this thing. I don't think you can discount that number 3 of Thomas Lewandowski. Sometimes when you're saving tires, it is so hard to watch these guys just disappear into the sunset ahead of you. You're like, I gotta wait, gotta be patient, and you get to lap, you know, you can be towards the front on lap 32, but you'd much rather be there on lap 92. Take a look at our hard charger of the race, and it will be your race leader, Jeffrey Stanton, up 4. Cody Dutton up 3. Laura Gerhardt, Zach Evans up a couple of spots apiece. Brandon Buckberger up 1. Is here comes Tracy Petter having a look inside of D Love to 3. Love not able to get to the bottom of the corner. Petter really going to have to hold that car tight to the bottom, though. Love slides a little bit wide on corner exit. Little bit of a twitch. Maybe all that Petter needs. He'll claim the spot at the line. See if he can hold it to turn 1. And D-Love really sails it off into the corner, though. May try to get the crossover here on Petter off the 2. Not able to make that pass, and now Derek Love going to fall back to the 4th position. Lewandowski down 4 after qualifying on the pole. D-Love down 2 after qualifying in 2nd position here tonight. Petter running that little bit wider line. Wonder if that's not a little bit of a tire conservation move there. You do burn the tires up a little bit more on corner edger as D-Love slide job turn 1. You could be able to get that pass completed as Petter has to come back in line and now tries to fend off Thomas Lewandowski. Absolutely fantastic battle here for that final step of the podium. We are clicking down in here towards the halfway point of this one. I want to remind everybody, light week of action here on the National Racing Network. Our next broadcast will be Thursday night, the U.S. Open Wheel Championship, Indy Pro 2000 cars, the C-Class cars, running at the artist formerly known as Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway. Also on Friday night, we'll have the OEM Cup Series. Both of those races will kick off at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Coming up this weekend, I will be on the production crew for Pit Road TV's broadcast of the INEX Legends Road Course World Championships, coming to you from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm really looking forward to that one. Turn 5 at that place is absolutely incredible. Big bowl of a turn, almost like the carousels like you would see on the Nürburgring. Oh, it is just a spectacular little corner. Will not want to miss that racing action, especially because it sounds like it may be wet on Saturday. Legends cars on the road course in the rain just sounds like a good time. Unless you got to be standing outside working in it. Either way, we'll put on a good show for you, the fans. You can find that broadcast over at pitrow.tv. Also need to say a huge thank you to the entire NRN team that put on the championship finale for Airport Speedway down in Newcastle, Delaware this past weekend. Absolutely fantastic work by the crew as Lewandowski looks inside of Love towards turn number 1. See if D-Love's going to get trapped on the high side of the racetrack. Our crew this weekend overcame some adversity and did, quite frankly, some fantastic work. So thank you all to the entire NRN crew that was down there. If you want to see that one, you can find that one over at dirt2media.tv. D-Love try to get around Tracy Penner. The more these guys battle, the more they're falling back from Jeffrey Stanton and Brandon Buckberger, but potentially also burning the tires off. If we get a late race caution, this may not be easy for some of these guys. You don't want to ask for a caution, though, because then you end up being the caution. Go on board here with Tracy Penner. Trying to get around Thomas Lewandowski. You see the big full slip angle there off the corner. Oh man, Lewandowski almost up into the outside wall. Penner fighting Lewandowski. We spin it around, and there's Derek Love. Tough spot to be in. Penner trying to keep that car anchored down on the racetrack. On the inside, down on that yellow line. And it is so much fun to watch how these cars kind of slip. You can see the back end start to kick out ever so slightly. Now we'll take a look out the nose of Penner's machine. Oh, buddy, almost making contact in the middle of 3 and 4 that time. Lewandowski does a nice job slamming that door closed at turn 1. Just does not allow Tracy Penner to make that left-hand turn first. Penner would have to commit to the passing attempt a lot earlier in the straightaway than he would want to. It really gives Lewandowski a bunch of options in terms of defending it. There you go. Now see, this is what I was just talking about. Penner commits to the move early, forces Lewandowski way out to the high side of the racetrack to avoid any possible contact. Derek Love going to try to make it a blue light special and go 2 for 1. May take him a lap or two, but I think it is a good shot it's going to happen here. Love is clear by the time they exit turn 4, and 50 laps are up on the scoreboard. Now next time we'll be halfway home. Better able to open up a little bit of a gap here to Derek Love. I mean, it's not much. We're talking 3-ish tenths of a second here. Seeing Ray checking in, saying some close battles throughout. We got another one here. Let's slide back a little bit. We'll pick up Cody Dutton and James Watson. Dutton able to get that pass completed just a lap or so ago. I think that one up. We'll show it to you on the NRN instant replay. If you would like your replay, your logo on those replay graphics, shoot us a message, sales@nationalracingnetwork.com. Nice pass through 3 and 4, able to clear Watson and no real attempt at the crossover. Because Dutton able to just carry so much more speed off the exit at turn number 2. So we'll go back to the live look here, and well, it doesn't look like much has changed. Still about 3 car lengths separating those two. A little bit further back in the pack, Zach Evans actually making up some ground on Laura Gerhardt here as well. That's the battle for the 9th position. And Laura Gerhardt is inside the top 10 points, currently running in the 8th position. Zach Evans 22nd in points, but the gap is only about 100 markers between those two, so you really can't give up on that fight whatsoever. Especially when the SOFs are as high as they are here tonight. I mean, we're talking a 41.87. That is impressive. Actually, not all that far off. I got to call an NIS top split race on Friday night for the fine folks over at Grid Vision. And that was only like a 5,200 or 5,300 SOF. And they had 15 splits. This is 2 splits, and it's a 41.87 SOF. Very, very strong field here, as always, in the Silver Crowns. Take a look here. Back to the front of the field. The gap is closing at the front as race leader Jeffrey Stanton is dealing with some lap traffic. It's now down to 1.4 seconds. Coming around the 10 of Andrew Hayes. Also, Jason Steinhurst has gone a lap down to the race leader as well as we work lap number 58. Buckberger has to be just ever so slightly patient, but he is still closing on the race leader. Slide back here, pick up Dutton and Watson once again in the battle for the 6th position. Watson has cut that gap down to about 2/10 now. Called a car length and a half through the middle of 1 and 2. Dutton maybe grabbing a little bit of grip off the bottom. That kind of painted surface, it makes the left side tires slip ever so slightly, which kind of gives the car a little bit more turn. Oh, buddy. That was a big bobble off the middle of the corner for Dutton, though. See if Watson can capitalize down the front straightaway. Not quite able to make that move yet. Let's take a look here. Does James Watson have a little bit of damage on the front end of that race car? Nah, it looks clean. Just how the shadows were reflecting off of that one. So Watson trying to get the move made on Dutton. Lewandowski and Love still within a car length and a half through the middle of 1 and 2, that time by as well. 40 laps to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. In a race that, knocking on wood, has been caution-free to this point of the night. Which is not really a surprise when your field is as good as it is. James Watson able to get around Cody Dutton. Take a look at it for you here on the NRN replay. Just a great duel these two are having. It doesn't always have to be for a top spot. Watson able to make that pass clear. Oh, Dutton give him a little shove, middle of 3 and 4. James Watson calls that argy-bargy. I call it grab ass. Now as we go back to the live look here, Watson's still able to hold off Dutton. Almost looked like Dutton thought about making the move off at 2. See if he's going to try it a little wide. Almost diamond the corner off. Well, I guess a backwards diamond. You kind of enter wide, cut down, and then let yourself drift out. Oh, man, that was tight. Watson all the way up to the outside retaining wall. And very nearly some left side loving there on Cody Dutton on the corner exit. Watson slides wide again. Absolutely nowhere for Dutton to go with the exit. But here he comes down to the entry to turn number 3. Dutton looks inside. He'll get the pass completed. We'll see if Watson's going to be able to try the crossover down the straightaway. Tuck in, get a tiny little bit of draft, just not anything there for James Watson that time by. At the front of the field, Brandon Buckberger still hovering about 1.4 down to maybe 1.3-ish seconds back of Jeffrey Stanton, your race leader. Tracy Petter holds on to 3rd, but it is a nearly 5-second gap to the race leader. Watson way wide off of 2. Almost wonder if that car is not starting to go away ever so slightly. Watson able to rein it back in. Let's slide a little bit forward here, and that's the only other real battle on the racetrack right now. There's this one and this one back here. Laura Gerhardt and Zach Evans. Andrew Hayes just coming around Jason Steinhurst. That's the 11th and 12th positions. And Ray, thank you very much for giving me somebody to talk to in the comments here tonight. These races, 100 lappers, are not easy to call without a color commentator up here in the booth with you. Hopefully I'm not boring everybody to sleep, but it'll be 30 to go next time by for your race leader. Let's kind of run you through the field here. Whoa, buddy, Jeffrey Stanton. Big wiggle out of 4 that time. That Big Evil Design, Napa Auto Parts, Rockwell, North Carolina, number 94. Oh, my goodness. Jeffrey Stanton is already a handful at both ends of the racetrack. The lead is now down to 1 second. That time, corner exit significantly more stable for Jeffrey Stanton. Stanton leading 64 laps here tonight after taking the lead all away from Thomas Lewandowski on lap number 8. Started in the 5th position. Stanton will also be your hard charger of the race to this point. We'll see if he's going to be able to hold on to it for another 29 laps, though. 2nd position, Brandon Buckberger always wants a win. He will not be satisfied with anything less than a trip to victory lane, even if he wins a points championship by finishing 2nd every week. Buckberger doesn't care about the points. He cares about the wins and the trophies, and that's what he's fighting for here this evening. Now has the lead down inside. Well, it was just under 1 second. Started in the 3rd position, moving up 1 from where he qualified here this evening. Running in the 3rd position is Tracy Petter, up 1, started 4th. Carrying the number 1 on his race car, a 76.69. Very nice iRating for Tracy Petter. Having a pretty good race here as well. Derek Love runs in position number 4. D-Love, starting on the outside of the front row tonight, has lost a couple of spots, and quite frankly, he's done it through battling with Petter and the guy just behind him, Thomas Lewandowski. Lewandowski was your pole sitter here tonight. Set the quick lap in qualifying. Just has not been able to make the race pace work for him. But we'll see what's going to happen here as we get down to 25 laps to go. James Watson qualified in 7th. He is up 1, running in the 6th position in this absolutely fantastic battle with Cody Dutton. Watson, one of those cars carrying the NRN colors along with the Team Watson Racing setups. Running in position number 7. Ooh, buddy, hold on to it. Cody Dutton, good Lord, man. Give me vertigo off of 2. Tail happy, almost tank slapping Cody Dutton. Able to hold the car in line and stay right up underneath the back bumper of James Watson. He is up 3 after starting in the 10th position. Brian Elmore runs in 8th here this evening, down 2 after qualifying 6th. A very quiet, nice run for Brian Elmore. Laura Gerhardt about 4 seconds back, running in the 9th position. Gerhardt up 2 after qualifying in an 11th in a great battle with Zach Evans. They have been trading that spot kind of every 15 or so laps. Gerhardt having a very nice run here this evening. We talked about Zach Evans in the ME5, number 11. He's up 2, started in the 12th position, and absolutely hassling Laura Gerhardt. Andrew Hayes in the 10, running 1 lap down to the race leaders in the 11th position, battling with Jason Steinhurst, who sits right behind to get another battle for position. It was been a pretty darn good fight, but that gets us through the field. Chad Peterson is out of this race in the 13th position. We'll pick up this fight between Watson and Dutton, though. Sitting about a couple of tenths apart. The race lead down to 9/10 of a second between Jeffrey Stanton and Brandon Buckberger. Watson wide at the entry to the corner. Dutton going to be able to sneak inside. Woohoo! Man, that car's twitchy off the corner. Cody Dutton back up into position number 6. And the fight just up ahead is just as good right now. Derek Love trying to hold off Thomas Lewandowski for 4th, and he wants to get caught up to Tracy Petter. Love absolutely dominating the corner that time. Slides it down way tight on corner entry. Gets it up about a groove and a half off the bottom of the racetrack at the midpoint of the corner. Cuts it back down on corner exit. Really trying to break the rhythm of Thomas Lewandowski behind him and get the car gripped up in the process. And now the battle for the lead is actually turning into a battle with 18 to go. Jeffrey Stanton now holding a 6th, now 5/10 of a second advantage over Brandon Buckberger. James Watson looking back inside of Cody Dutton through 3 and 4. He'll get the pass completed, but Dutton going to look back inside, cross him up. Put Cody Dutton back up into position number 6. Lewandowski and Love side by side for 4th. Lewandowski able to clear Love. That's going to put him into 4th. D-Love slots right back in line at the midpoint of the quarter. Not able to attempt to cross over a revenge move off of turn number 2. And the fight for the lead is now down to 4/10 of a second. 15 to go. Let's pick up the race leaders in traffic. Coming around, Zach Evans, Laura Gerhardt will be next on the list. Buckberger takes a ton of air off the front end of Evans at the entry to 3. Zach doing a nice job keeping that car pinned to the bottom of the speedway. What kind of resistance does Laura Gerhardt put up here? Laura, one of the cleaner drivers. Stanton going to be able to make the turn down, but Buckberger just follows right through as Gerhardt slides way up to the high side at the midpoint of 1 and 2. Going to bring her back into a battle with Zach Evans. What is Buckberger going to have? It was a baker's dozen, now 12 laps to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. Did Jeffrey Stanton save just enough tire to make that 94 machine first to the finish line? Remember, this lead was measured, we were measuring in seconds just about 15 laps ago, 20 laps or so ago. Now we're down to about 4/10 of a second, separating Stanton from victory lane. Brandon Buckberger for his first win in 2-ish seasons, I guess it would be. He's been close many times. Let's go on board here with Brandon Buckberger as he tries to chase down the race leader. Watch the hands. Little bit of counter steer on corner exit. Hard on the throttle down the back straightaway. A lot of steering input at the midpoint of the quarter. You got to work to get this car turned down. Oh man, there it is. A little bit of... You don't want to be pointing the steering wheel right. But he is right there with 9 to go. Less than a car length separates the top 2 this time into turn number 3. Stanton has to run a little bit higher of a line than Buckberger. Oh, what a fantastic battle this is going to be over the last handful of laps. It almost feels like an inevitability that Brandon Buckberger is going to be able to get by Jeffrey Stanton. Over the 10-lap average, these cars separated by 16 thousandths of a second in their average lap time. Over the 5-lap average, Buchberger ever so slightly quicker. But now that you've gotten to him, you're going to have to get past him. Maybe a little bit of a bobble there for Buchberger at the exit at turn number 4. Allowed the gap to open back up ever so slightly. This time by is going to be a 5-finger salute. Who's it going to be to, though? Buchberger just not able to get the power down. Stanton sees the 5 to go. Great run through the middle of the corner by Buchberger. He's going to carry a lot of pace off. Not able to dive to the inside just yet. You almost wonder if he's kind of waiting to make that move. Again, makes up a ton of ground at the midpoint of the corner. I don't know that he wants to give Stanton a chance to pass him back. Oh, but here he's going to look inside. Oh, they both wiggle. Buchberger's down onto the grass. What a save. Stanton got loose, possibly a little bit of left side loving onto Brandon Buchberger's number 4 machine. Both cars look clean. It'll be 3 to go this time by. And Brandon Buchberger is going to have 0.6 of a second to make up. That was a gutsy pass attempt at the 4 to go mark for Brandon Buchberger. He got both left side tires down onto those rumble strips. That big, thick, painted yellow line in turns 1 and 2. And the move stuck. It's just that Jeffrey Stanton got ever so slightly loose off the corner. But with 2 to go, the gap is closing again. I think Stanton's going to have Buchberger's going to have a shot at this on the white flag lap. The white silk's in the air. 1 to go. Jeffrey Stanton leads by 0.4 to turn 1. Stanton runs a little bit high. Buchberger's got it down to a car length and a half off of 2. Buchberger sails it off into the corner, but it might not be enough. Off at turn 4, twin checkers in the air. Jeffrey Stanton gets the win at Milwaukee. Brandon Buchberger comes home second. Good battle for the 3rd position will go to Tracy Petter. By about half a second over Thomas Lewandowski. Derek Love completes the top 5. Cody Dutton going to be able to hold on off of James Watson. And that will round out your field here this evening. Nice spot to park there, Jeffrey. Gets a good shot there for the cameras. And Jeffrey Stanton is your race winner here this evening. While we get ready for the victory lane interviews, let's take a look at your race results. Jeffrey Stanton leads 93 caution-free laps here at the Milwaukee Mile to pick up the victory. That one will be his first of the season. Brandon Buchberger comes home second. Tracy Petter, Thomas Lewandowski, and Derek Love round out the top 5. 6 through 10 tonight, Cody Dutton, James Watson, Brian Elmore, Zach Evans, and Laura Gerhardt. Rounding out tonight's 13-car field, Jason Steinhurst and Andrew Hayes both finishing 1 lap down. Chad Peterson going out early, finishing 55 laps behind your winner. Race that took about 48 minutes or so to complete. That was impressive for these guys out of the Silver Crown Cup. And let's get ready to talk to our podium finishers tonight, and we'll kick things off here with Tracy Petter, our 3rd place finisher. And man, I'll tell you what, Tracy, that was an absolutely incredible battle that you had with Derek and Thomas. Talk us through what you saw from behind the driver's seat, because it was a sure ton of fun for us to watch.
Yeah, so at the beginning, I figured since there was only 13 cars, it was going to go green the whole time. So I was just saving the whole time, just waiting to see if their car would fall off a little bit. And then once I noticed they were starting to get a little tight or a little loose, I started to push more and try to get around them. And then at some point, I just had more tire than them and just started pulling away.
Yeah, that's one of those I would imagine it's kind of tough, because ordinarily you would think a place like Milwaukee, you're at least going to get a caution flag. When it doesn't happen, do you have to change the tire conservation strategy at all?
At least I do. If I was to push like Stanton and Boochberger, where I would have had my right front destroyed, but I just backed it off and was praying for the yellow.
Well, it certainly worked out for you. At least put you up on the podium. Congratulations on that. And before we let you go, make sure you do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Thank you for broadcasting this, and shout out to EPI.
All right, brother. Thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us up here in the booth for a minute. And let's bring up Brandon Buckberger, our 2nd place finisher here this evening. And Brandon, that was one of the gutsiest moves I have seen in a Crown car in a long time, coming to 4 to go. What did you see from the midpoint of the corner off? It kind of looked like Jeffrey got loose. I don't know if you got loose. Definitely was some contact made, but what was kind of going through your control inputs and in your head at that point?
I was just trying to get under him. And then he got loose off too, and it shoved me down in the grass.
At that point, are you kind of in trying not to be race over mode? I mean, that was a hell of a save you made.
Nope, race done mode at that point.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on the another podium finish, and you're going to open up the points lead as well here. Congratulations on that. But before we let you go, any sponsor plugs or thank yous you want to get in?
Yeah, I'm not thinking about points till week 12. You got to win these races to get a championship, so I don't want to hear about it anymore.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here in the booth for a minute. And, man, let's bring in our race winner tonight, a guy who put on a really good show at the front of the field. I didn't think he would have enough tires saved for the end of this thing, but Jeffrey Stanton, congratulations. How were you able to save that much tire?
I don't think the tires really mattered too much for me personally. Like, I knew I was going to burn the right rear off regardless, so I just did that and just hope I saved enough, I guess. He'll step it out on me on exits too. Brandon was getting me big time on exit, I felt like. So that, and I'd miss entry free a lot. But overall,
yeah, that was it's interesting that you say that, because that was one of the things that we were noticing was, especially that move with 4 to go. He got those left side tires down on the yellow line, and it was really able to kind of force your hand a little bit. Ultimately, a little bit of contact there, but talk us through kind of what you saw in the middle of that moment.
I didn't even feel any contact, to be honest with you. We were talking about it after the race before the interviews there. He said he lifted to make sure we didn't make contact at all. So
it was a heck of a move that he made, but quite frankly, a great piece of driving on your end. How difficult is this place to make these tires last for 100 laps? Because I would imagine the more fuel you burn off, the more evil handling this thing gets too. Yeah,
exactly. You just gotta be easy on the throttle with it. But I mean, I was going 100% from lap 0, just trying to see what happens. So
Well, you got the job done tonight, picking up your first win of the season, and what's going to be a pretty good points night for you here, too, with a 41 and change SOF. Congratulations on the win, and before we let you go, make sure you do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yep, I want to thank Napa Auto Parts of Rockwell, everyone else that supports me, and y'all for broadcasting.
All right, brother. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us up here in the booth for a couple of minutes. And man alive, that was a fantastic show these guys put on for us here. As we will go back to the live look of the scenic views here at the Milwaukee Mile, and we're going to get ready for a couple of nights off, actually. TNT Shock Series is off because it's Oval Week for the PM18s, and also the Sim Racers Club is off this week. They will be back in 2 weeks, well, I guess 1 week, next Wednesday night, with a, I believe, 200 lapper from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Love seeing the Cup cars out there at Bristol. It's going to be a fun show. Our next broadcast will be Thursday night for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship and their race at Gateway. Well, Worldwide Technology Raceway, the artist formerly known as Gateway. Friday night, we'll have the OEM series. And I forget, OEMs they might be at Bristol too, actually, now that I think about it. That one's going to be a good show as well. Bizzle will be on the mic for that one. And then on Saturday and Sunday this week, check us out at pitrow.tv. That one will be the INEX Legends Road Course World Championships, I believe it's called. Legends on the road course at New Hampshire. It's going to be a blast, and it's probably going to be wet. I'm looking forward to that show in a big way. Hope you all are able to tune in with us. But with that, time for us to get the heck on out of here. Fantastic night of racing and a whole lot going on. For everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us, and we will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.